Digital citizenship, bullying, and technology.
Cyberbullying. What is it? So, cyberbullying is bullying that happens through digital devices such as phones or computers and often happens over social media, text, email, instant messages, and gaming. For more information on what cyberbullying is and how it's affected others, you can visit the link provided in the presentation. So, some guiding questions to go with cyberbullying. If you'll think about a time you or someone you know experienced a situation of bullying, whether it was in person or online, here's some questions to think about as you go through the rest of the presentation. So what were some of those feelings that you may have felt in the situation, or maybe a friend had felt, and how did they handle the feelings afterwards of experiencing a type of bullying, whether online or in person? And then another question to think about is, do you feel like bullying has increased or decreased in the last decade with an increase of the use of technology?
Cyberbullying challenges. About 22% of students aged 12 to 18 fought being bullied at school. Did you know that exposure to cyberbullying is a catalyst in the perpetuation of cyberbullying behavior? Those who are exposed to cyberbullying exhibit cyberbullying behavior. Studies show negative effects such as anxiety, depression, lowered self-esteem, and even severe negative effects such as suicidal ideation. A growing body of literature shows association between cyberbullying and suicidal ideation. Teachers also report the number one safety concern in their classrooms is cyberbullying because cyberbullying can also have a negative impact on the victim's schoolwork. Cyberbullying opportunities. Cyberbullying, although challenging, can lead to opportunities for student leadership in the classroom. As the old saying goes, if you see something, say something. Cyberbullying can also lead to opportunities for educators to show support to their students by intervening on their behalf.
Intervention strategies to help reduce and prevent cyberbullying. The best programs begin with knowledge, awareness, and empathy. Knowledge. Students should be taught what is and what is not cyberbullying. Cyberbullying should be very clearly defined. Another point with knowledge is students also need to know that their peers believe cyberbullying is unacceptable. A third fact, students also need to know what actions they can take to effectively intervene in the harmful situation. Awareness. Students should be made aware of warning signs and how to recognize cyberbullying. Students should also be aware of the parties typically involved in cyberbullying. Another fact, students should also be made aware of their responsibility not to intentionally harm others and to help others who may be in need. Empathy. The ultimate goal of any anti-cyberbullying curriculum is to create greater empathy in students, resulting in a higher likelihood students will intervene in cyberbullying incidents. Training teachers. Integrate information about cyberbullying as a core component of teacher training. Teachers need to understand the significant implication of cyberbullying and learn to identify and handle such incidents. Faculty and staff should also be trained in early warning signs that may identify victims of cyberbullying, including rejection or isolation from peers and being the focus of more traditional forms of bullying. Pacer.org, National Cyberbullying Prevention Center, offers schools resources and a complete anti-cyberbullying course for K through 12 schools.
If you go to pacer.org and go to the elementary school activities, one of the activities is the kindness catcher. Most children are familiar with the fortune teller folded paper. That's this activity. Teachers, educators, you can print the fortune teller for students to color, cut, and fold. Teach them the vocabulary such as friend, respect, hope, kindness, acceptance, and what that means to them in their own words. Then, once they've folded the paper, allow them time to practice a set amount of time. They can play the fortune teller game and ask questions already printed on the foldable, such as, how was your day? Smile and say hello, write a kind note, strategies for practicing being a friend, showing respect, kindness, acceptance. And then the very last thing is you can set a review time, possibly a day or a few days later, a specific time during your class period where students can reflect on how they have used those strategies either in the classroom or in different settings such as lunch, the playground, maybe after school, or during other classes. Ask them if they've used the strategies and did they think of any new ways to showcase those traits. Now for middle and high school activities, again at pacer.org, they will be presented with some scenarios and some guided questions. So what you as an educator need to do beforehand is preview those videos, download your guides, have the time and the steps worked out, and arrange with your counselor or SEL coordinator, social emotional learning coordinator, if you want them to be present in the classroom. So the scenarios will present a number of situations and pose the questions, what should you do with the students? They will have guided answers that they can add to, of course. The students will discuss possible responses. You could pick one scenario one day and another scenario another day. Then the students will be asked to reflect why they chose that response and any impacts. Who is it going to impact? And what do they perceive that the impact is going to be? Again, this would be an ongoing activity, follow up, definitely throughout the school year.
Promote a positive and safe classroom culture. Within the classroom, set norms of respectful communication. This sends a message to your students about what it is and isn't acceptable. Find ways to demonstrate that your classroom is a safe, emotionally caring environment. Demonstrate empathy by example. Embrace digital citizenship moments. As a teacher, our number one job is to protect and advocate for our students. Step up when you encounter a teachable moment related to cyberbullying and acknowledge respectful online communication. Encourage students to pay attention to red flag moments when something happens on digital media that makes them feel uncomfortable, worried, sad, or anxious. Advocate for a school district-wide digital citizenship program. Advocate for an integrated digital citizenship program that gives teachers the time and resources to tackle cyberbullying head-on. Provide kids with consistent and frequent opportunities to build their skills and supports families as they reinforce the messages at home. Studies show the best tools students can have to combat cyberbullying are knowledge, awareness, and empathy. These are tools that, like math and science, need to be learned and practiced.
So an elementary curriculum from commonsense.org begins to introduce them to digital citizenship characters, such as ARMS is the first one, and he teaches what media balance means in their life. Now, this uses the Collaborative for Academic, Social, and Emotional Learning standards, which focuses on social emotional learning, especially in the collaborative and academic setting. Students are given a handout where they can brainstorm activities that they enjoy with and without devices. Now, with this handout, they are able to draw activities they enjoy if they can't yet spell or write and complete sentences. There is also a take-home reflection activity that again asks the family activities that they like to do together, both with and without devices. And again, there is a box for drawing these activities. Another good thing with commonsense.org is the handouts are available in English or Spanish. Digital citizenship activities with middle and high school at commonsense.org focus more on the social aspect. Who are you online? And discusses the term Finstas or fake social media accounts, otherwise known as spam. Why might students or people create multiple fake accounts? Students will discuss the pros and cons of creating multiple fake accounts as their background knowledge to build up to a class debate on whether it's worth it or not to create fake social media accounts. They're going to argue for the benefits or argue for the drawbacks.
Anti-cyberbullying programs. Students who take part in regular anti-cyberbullying campaigns are less likely to be bullied themselves and are more likely to intervene when they see cyberbullying taking place.
Digital citizenship. Cybersecurity.
Digital citizenship. What does it mean? So to have digital citizenship, it just means to be responsible and act ethically when using online services. And then moving into cybersecurity, Oxford Dictionary defines this as the state of being protected against the criminal or unauthorized use of electronic data or the measures taken to achieve this. Some of the main issues in 2023 with cybersecurity is spear phishing, cloud vulnerabilities, ransomware, open ports, and lack of endpoint protection. So phishing, of course, is basically trickery when someone tries to act as something else and make you fill in certain info. Cloud vulnerabilities is when you don't have like all of your networks that are on the cloud encrypted with a certain type of protective force against people that use all these types of hacking tools. Ransomware is where they'll steal stuff and make you pay, whatever it is to get it back. Open ports is anything that is connected to a network that needs an open port to be able to send information back and forth. And if someone can hack into that, they may be able to send you bad malware or any other types of things to get into your network. And then lack of endpoint protection, so not having strong enough passwords and, like I said, encryption earlier, just to make sure that you protect against all types of cyber attacks. So some guiding questions to go with digital citizenship with cybersecurity is think of all the devices that you may use on a daily basis that has a smart feature or anything that basically can be connected or you can use with a remote or Bluetooth, anything like that you may use like on a day-to-day basis. And then, do you know how to protect yourself against cyber attacks? And what do you think is the leading cause for many people that have been hacked? So think about those things as you go through the rest of this presentation.
Cybersecurity challenges. According to a joint report from the FBI and other agencies, the K-12 education segment makes up the majority of all ransomware attacks, as cybercriminals attempt to exploit financial information, steal proprietary data, harass students, and more. This is challenging for K-12 schools that face resource limitations. This is also challenging during video conferences because it can cause disruptions such as verbally harassing students and teachers, displaying inappropriate and/or violent images, doxing meeting attendees as well. And doxing is simply the act of compiling or publishing personal information about an individual on the internet, typically with malicious intent. Numerous reports received by the FBA, CISA, and MSISAC since March 2020 indicate uninvited users have disrupted live video conference classroom sessions. To enter classroom sessions, uninvited users have been observed using student names to trick hosts into accepting them into class sessions and accessing meetings from either publicly available links or links shared with outside users. Students sharing links and/or passwords with friends can also cause these issues. The figure on the right shows the top 10 malware strains that have affected state, local, tribal, and territorial educational institutions from 2019 to 2020. Cybersecurity opportunities. One opportunity to tackle cybersecurity issues is through professional development. This is because most K-12 educators and students do not know a lot about cybersecurity education. Being educated on cyber attacks can help educators be better prepared to prevent them. Another opportunity is extracurricular activities. Cybersecurity is rarely provided as a standalone course or provided through extracurriculars. This could be added to activities such as clubs, competitions, and camps.
Strategies to help with cybersecurity: privacy and security, and relationships and communication. Privacy and security. It's important for children and teens to learn early on who they can trust with their information on the internet. While there are security programs and privacy settings to be aware of, which can help block things like computer viruses and tracking cookies and protect your online privacy, you don't need a master's in cybersecurity to keep yourself or your family safe. It can't be stressed enough how important it is to create a very strong password for any accounts you have online. Relationships and communication. When kids connect with other people online, it can be undoubtedly affect the way they behave. Because they're behind a screen, they can feel less pressure and feel more removed from potential consequences. When they are anonymous online, people tend to be more irresponsible, cruel, and unethical. Therefore, it's important for kids to follow a code of conduct when using the internet and treat it as they're interacting with others in the real world. Not only should people be good citizens in reality, but they should be digitally as well.